Greetings, everyone. My name is Mello, and this is the podcast that I was telling you guys about this week. Of course, you guys already know who I am, and this is my co-host who will keep his name to...
Ninong. Hi guys, girls and everything in between. Ninong is Tagalog for Godfather. I don't know why I call myself Ninong, but just go with it. Well, it's not that I don't have. I'm afraid of. I'm being secretive for other people's sake because I have no shame left. I am like shameless.
So it's more of protecting other people.
Protecting other people.
All right.
Because I might tell stories concerning other people, and they might, if someone knew me, they might make a connection. So just for their sake.
And of course, the disclaimers. We are not experts.
Yep,
we are
not
have
experts.
any degrees in psychology or anything. The things that we say here are based on our experiences and what we know based on life experiences. And the fact that these are the things that we would give our friends as advice given that they are in the same situation. It goes without saying that you should take this with a grain of salt. As much as we would like to help you, or anyone or everyone in general, we would like everyone to at least keep an open mind because everyone has their own opinions.
Yeah, it's a case-to-case basis.
Exactly.
So sometimes this particular thing that we are discussing may apply to you. May.
Just take it with a grain of salt, and I hope you enjoy what we had to say. Final disclaimer is that we have Asian Tourette's. There may be cases that we end up mispronouncing things because it just happens. I'm a host, I'm an MC, and I do voiceovers, and there are times that I end up pronouncing things wrong. I'm Filipino, by the way.
And I'm Filipino too.
Yes. And the reason why we're doing this in English is not because we want to separate ourselves, but mostly to increase
our
audience. We don't want to exclude anyone. And seeing as English is the most common language, we figure that we might
Mandarin is the most common language.
Thank you for that correction.
Actually.
There's more of them. Okay. So without further ado, anything and everything that will happen on this from now on will reflect on how this entire podcast goes.
I hope it goes well.
I hope everyone enjoys it. So
because popularity is very good for you.
Yes, that is true. And of course, we're gonna have a lot of different topics from now until God knows when, because it's you guys that will determine when or how long this podcast lasts. So without further ado, our pilot episode topic
for
today will be the one thing that the internet hates the most.
From Tumblr to 9gag to Reddit to
Twitter
Facebook.
to everything, to all sources of social media, it is the friend zone.
So Mello, according to our best friend Google, can you define what is the friend zone so we know the parameters of what is and what's not the friend zone?
All right, let's do this. According to Google/Wikipedia, in popular culture, the friend zone refers to a platonic relationship where one person wishes to enter into a romantic relationship while the other does not.
Ouch.
That is point one. Point two, it is generally considered to be an undesirable situation by the lovelorn person. Once the friend zone is established, it is also said to be difficult to move beyond that point in the relationship. And finally, the idea of a friend zone is often criticized as simply being in a platonic relationship in which one party never informs the other of their affection, then resents the other party for not sensing it, or feels entitled to the other party's affections despite the wishes of the other party. All right, we're gonna break this down point by point. Ninong, take it away.
Well, if you guys have watched Mulan, you can see that there are similar roles with the friend zone with Mulan. Actually, I'm gonna relate Mulan with the friend zone.
I cannot wait to hear this. Go on.
Let's say that the romantic relationship is the fertile land of China, the Middle Kingdom. And the friend zone is the Great Wall of China, made by the Emperor of China, which is the friend zoner. Because this particular emperor, which we'll call the Emperor of China, according to Wikipedia, it's the Emperor of China. He doesn't want anyone
he doesn't want anything to do with the Huns.
With the Huns.
Okay.
Which is led by Shan Yu, the friend zonee. Friend zonee aka Shan Yu, wants to conquer China, wants to have a romantic relationship with the Emperor of China.
Okay.
That's kind of weird. If you
If
put it that way.
anything, there is one scene in that movie that makes this all kind of work out. So you know what? Let's try and just remember that scene. All right, let's do it in 3, 2, 1. I tire of your arrogance, old man. Bow to me.
No matter how much the wind howls, the mountain cannot bow to it.
I cannot believe that it kind of works out.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of, maybe somewhat. If you guys agree, do let us know. If not, it's all right.
I wonder if someone turned someone down using
That
Love.
line, oh my
Yeah.
god, that is actually a perfect line.
no matter how much the wind howls, the
The mountain cannot bow to it. Okay, so now that we've clearly defined the roles, the Emperor and Shan Yu, we can go on to the second point, which was the fact that it is an undesirable situation to be in by Shan Yu once the friend zone has been established, also known as the Great Wall of China. It is said to be difficult to move beyond this point of the relationship.
Unless you have a big army
Yes, that is true.
and they don't have Mulan.
Yeah, that strangely enough, all these references are working out. So, let me know your side on that one.
Well, I can sympathize with Shan Yu because I have been. No, I haven't conquered any lands
Okay.
as of this moment in my life. I
Uh-huh.
might when I turn 50 and I start to get bored. But what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
But I have been friend zoned many times. I have friend zoned a few times other people, but more often than not, I am the receiving end of the friend zone.
You're
And
Shan Yu.
I am Shan Yu. Yeah, I have this uncanny superpower. I always joke this to my friends, which it is kind of sad, but funny in the same way.
Uh-huh.
I have this superpower that I can turn any romantic interest into my best friend.
See, to a certain degree,
To a certain degree,
it's actually quite pleasant to have that. But if you're constantly looking for, the one, that's a little harsh.
Mhm.
Don't you think? But I'm hoping that you are somehow recovering.
I am recovering now. I think because recently
Yes.
other girls are having an interest in me, and not just for
Oh my god!
for friends.
I'm so happy for you! Oh my god!
Oh my
Oh,
god!
good for you. Good for you. And this is the point in time we say that we know how it feels. I know how it feels. I have been zoned. I have been Shan Yu'd. Is that the term?
Shan Yu.
I have been Shan Yu'd.
We have also emperored.
I have been Shan Yu'd several times, and I have emperored a couple of times. And this is now the part where we discuss the most difficult aspect of the Great Wall of China. The third point is the idea of a friend zone is often criticized as simply being a platonic relationship in which one party never informs the other of their affection and then resents the other party for not sensing it or feels entitled to the other party's affections despite the wishes of the other party. So basically what this says is that Shan Yu just goes in for the kill, never tells the emperor anything, and he expects the emperor to understand everything that's going on right here, right now, and
It's like-
just says yes.
Yeah. Oh, perfectly well. You can conquer my land.
Feel free to conquer me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted in the first place. See, it kind of doesn't work that way. In my opinion, I would like to think it just doesn't work that way.
I don't think it's an opinion. People are not mind readers. They can't assume that you want to have romantic relationship
Yeah.
with them. If you already have a platonic relationship, sometimes people are just extra nice to other people, or
Yeah.
maybe that's their default setting.
And sometimes other people just are really that dense. And it's not the fault of either party. There are times that ambiguity is the one that really kills it. The feeling that, oh, I'm doing the following stuff, which then therefore means that I should expect the following things in return. Guys, it kind of doesn't work that way. You
And-
have to make things clear if you want to understand what's going on. The usual thing I tell my friends is that there are three things that you need to know in order to make a complete picture. One, you need to know where you are. Two, you need to know how to get there. And three, you need to know where you're going. Because if you're missing one of the three, you're never going to get to wherever it is you want to go. If you don't know where you are, how the hell can you find your way to point B? If you don't know how to get there, how the hell are you going to go to point B? If you don't know where point B is, you're just going to keep going around and around and around.
I have my version of that.
Okay.
But this is based on advertising because courtship is basically advertising. It is selling yourself.
True.
To the, let's say the audience is the emperor and you're Shan Yu. You are advertising yourself.
Yes.
There is the ABC of advertising. First, you need to grab their attention. That's A. If their attention is somewhere, for example, they have problems in life and they can't focus on you. So that's not a good way to confess if their attention is not on you. Second is branding. You need to brand it needs to be known that it comes from you, not from a secret admirer or someone else. Or usually people ask, what if this person likes you and he's your friend? And
that's being very vague.
And being very cowardly.
Yeah.
Because you're not taking a risk. Confessing is about taking risk. That's the whole point of confessing.
And before we
don't
get
play
to that,
it safe. Yeah. But
before we get to that, there's the C.
The C is communication. You need to be clear and concise.
I agree.
And straight to the point. You just don't say, I like you.
I kind of sort of like, maybe if the stars align and my dog does a backflip, like you.
Yeah, and sometimes
it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
There's also this safe mode that people usually do. That what if I ask you out?
Ooh, I hate that.
I told you, it's a very cowardly approach. It's not very Shan Yu-y.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like Shan Yu. It gives you an easy way out. Okay, that being aside, I enjoy how we have this marketing lessons as well with the history lessons. We go now to the fact that you are entitled, or at least Shan Yu thinks he's entitled to the other party's affections despite the wishes of the emperor. The emperor says no, but because Shan Yu did the things that he's done, he thinks that he deserves China. Guys, I've got news for you. You're not entitled to anything. Just because you've done something for someone that you like doesn't mean that it deserves to be reciprocated. I'm sorry. It sucks to hear that. But you're not, the person you're doing these things for is not obligated to do anything other than say thank you. That's it. I mean, I know how it feels. I have gone.
Yep.
We know how it feels. I've gone through lengths that I never thought I would ever be capable of doing for someone just because I wanted to prove something to them. I just wanted to prove that they are indeed special to me and that indeed I wanted them to see that, on top of the fact that I told them that I liked them. But the fact remains that that person will always have the choice to say yes or say no. Because if you deny them that choice, then what's the point of this whole thing?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Just because you court someone, that's it. That's it? You're already entitled to the relationship? No, I'm sorry. It sucks to say this. It sucks to admit this as someone who has been Shan Yu'd. It's a very, very harsh reality that you have to come to terms with the fact that the emperor is more than allowed to say no. For whatever reasons it may be, it doesn't matter. Just remember that you're not entitled to anything because you're nice. Just because you did this or that. You should be doing these things because you want to prove a point. You want to show them how much you care for them, how much you appreciate them. Not because you expect something in return. That's just selfish.
You know, I have a saying that if you expect her to love you because you're being nice, then you're not really being nice at all because you have a hidden agenda. It's very insidious.
Yeah. Come to think of it.
You can say that it's not sincere at all.
Because everything you do, even before this whole thing, already has malice. You're expecting something
Yep.
right off the bat, and being nice about it doesn't really make you any better than some other dude. And
It doesn't sound like unconditional love because it's not.
it
You're
doesn't
expecting
sound
something
it doesn't sound sincere.
because it isn't.
Yes.
And people won't be attracted to you because you're nice. People will be attracted to you because you are attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, attractive meaning not just physically attractive, but it helps. That helps. We're all attracted to beautiful beings.
Okay, I'm following you. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but you can also be mentally attractive. You can be emotionally attractive. You can be funny, like
Yeah. Like us?
like us.
Like us?
Well, I don't really look that much, but I'm funny, so I still.
Ninong, I really think you're guapo. For our international audience, if ever we have any, you can look that up. Yeah!
Yeah, my mom tells me I'm guapo too. I don't believe her as much as I want to, because she's my mom and she'll tell me anything for me to make me feel better about my life.
Because she loves you. And that's the important part about this
And-
whole thing that we have been discussing. The
And
fact
it's
that
very unconditional.
yes. And it's pretty much what we want to convey to everyone in this podcast right here. That there are always two sides of the story. And just because you are Shan Yu in this particular story doesn't mean that the emperor has to be demonized.
Yep.
And
You are not entitled to be. No,
you're not entitled to the land.
You are not entitled to her love or his love
Yeah.
just because you are nice. Niceness should not be your selling point. It should be the bare minimum.
Yeah.
It's like selling like you want to sell this car and
You have to market it.
you have to market it.
And of course, when it comes to marketing, you can't just say, "Look, it's my car, buy it."
Yeah. Being nice is like saying, "Oh, why won't you buy my car? It has wheels and you can drive with it." No,
Just-
it doesn't work that way. That's the suckiest advertising ever. Don't
We're not
do
gonna name brands or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
because we want sponsors.
You
Kidding
need to
aside.
have a USP or a unique selling proposition.
Indeed. Now, before we get way too deep in this whole marketing analogies, we'd like to wrap this whole podcast up by saying that this whole Emperor Shan Yu thing, you are allowed to feel what you feel if you are one or the other. As Shan Yu, you have to understand the important thing that anything and everything you do, you may do it by the book. You can have a perfect score in terms of everything to convey how you feel and how you want the person to know how you feel. But at the end of the day, it will be up to the person to decide whether or not it's going to work. Because if you deny that person the choice to say yes or no, then it's absolutely pointless. It's not a mutual thing. It's just for you. And that's not how things go. That's not how it should go. And it sucks to admit, and I say it over and over and over again as a Shan Yu myself, that I am not entitled to anything regardless of the lengths I go for this one person. Why? Because that person is an individual. She, not he, that would make it very, very weird. That she has a mind of her own and she will be ultimately the one to decide this whole thing. The only thing for me to do as a Shan Yu is deal with it. I am allowed to feel bad that I am not validated by the person I like. I am allowed to, have feelings of not happiness, for the lack of a better term, because I don't know how to express it. And it's all right. It's okay. And for the emperors, you have the tough job of turning someone down in the most graceful
Yes.
of manners, in a way that it's not gonna rip that person apart.
That's gonna be hard. One thing, anything you do it will
Yeah.
hurt the other person. So
The
there's
best thing, yeah.
there's no nice way of saying it.
There's no nice way of saying I'm sorry, I cannot reciprocate. But there is a way for you to say it in such a way that you will keep Shan Yu's humanity intact.
Humanity, pride, and
Yeah.
dignity.
One is by leaving nothing ambiguous. What do I mean by that? You clear it out. You tell Shan Yu yes or no. There is no maybe. There is no we can see it later on. You give that person the satisfaction or the bare minimum, which is honesty. Okay? You tell them yes, you tell them no. And you deal with the consequences after.
Yeah, it's either heaven or hell. No limbo. Limbo is a different kind of hell, which is worse than hell altogether.
Yes. And that is something that we can discuss later on, but this wraps up episode 1 of the show we have yet to name because honestly, I really do not know for the life of me what to call it. Nino, what do you think?
I want to name it Asian Tourette's.
Asian Tourette's.
Yeah. It
We-
sounds catchy. It sounds like a band name.
Asian Tourette's brings you the topic of
Yeah.
friendzoning.
We are Asian Tourette's and we like to discuss this.
All right, guys, thank you so much for bearing with us on our pilot episode. We promise that if you guys see this and receive it well, we'll try and get better. We do, we promise.
Yep. This is the first time.
This is a first for us and probably a first for you. And if you bear with us with the journey, I'm sure it's going to be awesome and a half. So this is Mello signing out along with...
And this is Ninong. I have no surname.
Ninong, the secret magical host of this show that has yet to be named. Thank you guys. We appreciate the
Thanks,
fact
guys.
that you have spent the last 20 plus minutes listening to us. And I hope that some way, somehow, we were able to share something with you. Because
Yep.
after all, this podcast is for you. All right, goodbye, and until next time, this is Mello. You can follow me on my SoundCloud at www.soundcloud.com/mtlazatin and my Twitter at mtlazatin. And
And you can follow Ninong with your hearts and your minds and your souls. Amen.